Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a project that's trying to do something pretty wild. Give knowledge a physical shape, a location. Basically, a whole new dimension.
You know, our entire digital world is basically flat, right? It's all files and databases. But what if we could actually navigate it like a real physical space? Well, that's exactly what we're talking about today. We're exploring this radical new idea called Knowledge3D, and it could completely change how AI understands and interacts with, well, everything.
So to really get why this is such a game changer, we've got to start with a problem, a big one, the problem with how AI works right now.
Think about the AI we have today, these huge language models. They're kind of like giant, mysterious black boxes. Sure, they've memorized an insane amount of information, literally trillions of facts, but it's all brute force memorization. They don't really get the structure, the relationships between ideas. Spatial AI flips that on its head. It proposes this transparent universe where understanding isn't just memorized, it's built right into the fabric of the space itself.
And that's where the Knowledge3D project comes in with this revolutionary solution. They're saying, hey, let's stop trying to write a bigger, more complicated book. Let's build an entire universe of meaning instead.
Okay, so the core idea here is all about representing knowledge spatially. Forget text in a database. Imagine concepts becoming actual objects in a 3D world. And here, meaning is everything. It's determined by location, by shape, and by how close one concept is to another.
And the goal? Oh, it's a big one. It's about creating a shared map of knowledge, a single source of truth that both you, me, and an AI can navigate and understand together. We're talking about finally prying open that black box for good.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing in theory, but what does this universe of knowledge actually look like? I mean, how on earth do you give a shape to an idea?
Well, let's build it up. Just imagine every single concept you can think of: gravity, love, the color blue. Each one is a point of light, a star, and they all exist in this vast, searchable galaxy.
And this is where it gets really cool. Let's take the idea of a cat. The star for cat isn't just one point of light. No, it's a whole cluster that pulls together every single representation of catness. So the word cat in English is sitting right there next to gato in Spanish. The sound of a meow, a photo of a cat, a 3D model, how you'd sign it in sign language, even the braille pattern for the word, they're all orbiting the same central point of meaning. It's pure understanding, totally separate from any one language or format.
And get this, they've even created this brilliant visual standard. The actual shape of the star tells you what kind of information it is. A tetrahedron means it's text, a cube is an image, an octahedron is audio. You can literally see the nature of the knowledge just by looking at it. How cool is that?
And this whole system is built from the ground up, starting with what they call atomic knowledge. So even a single letter, like the letter A, gets its own multifaceted star. It connects its written shape and like thousands of different fonts, its phonetic sound, its role in grammar, all in one place. And this is the crucial part. These little atomic stars become the fundamental building blocks. So the stars for C, A, and T, they link together to form the star for the word cat. And that star then connects to phrases like a black cat, building up this incredible logical hierarchy of meaning. It's just beautiful.
Okay, so let's zoom back out. How is this entire universe organized? Because it's not just some big, chaotic cloud of stars, right?
Right. K3D actually uses a dual memory system that's inspired by our own brands. First, you've got the galaxy. Think of this as your active short-term memory, your RAM basically. It's where all the real-time thinking is happening. Then you have the house. This is your long-term memory, like a hard drive. It's a stable, persistent place where knowledge gets sorted and stored, kind of like how our brains organize memories when we sleep.
And here's the kicker. This whole setup creates what's called a dual-client world. So a human could put on a VR headset and literally walk through this house of knowledge. At the exact same time, an AI is accessing the exact same structure, but it sees it as pure data, as vector embeddings. It's incredible. We're both looking at the same reality, just using our own native senses.
So why should you care about any of this? Why is it more than just a really cool visual? Well, this huge shift from memorization to genuine understanding, it leads to some absolutely staggering gains in efficiency and transparency. By taking knowledge out of the model and putting it into this structured space, instead of trying to cram everything into the model's internal memory,
Well, this approach gets a potential 10,000-fold improvement in efficiency. And let me tell you, that's not just a big number. That is a radical, fundamental shift in what we thought was possible.
What that means in practice is that a tiny model, just 7 million parameters, can reason just as well as a monster model with over 70 times billion parameters. It's proof that you don't need a bigger brain if you have a perfectly organized library to consult. And this unlocks a totally new future, one where seriously powerful AI could run on your phone, on your laptop, not just in some giant power-guzzling data center.
And the benefits just keep stacking up. You get an AI where you can literally watch its thought process as it moves through the knowledge space. That crazy efficiency, it means a smaller carbon footprint, and it opens up AI development to everyone, not just the tech giants. And maybe most importantly, it creates that shared ground truth, which leads to an AI that we can actually trust and verify.
So look, this isn't just about a new way to build AI. What we're really talking about here is a potential blueprint for the next evolution of the internet.
People are calling this vision Web 4.0, or the spatial web, and it's a future where we stop browsing flat, lonely web pages and instead start navigating through shared, meaningful, three-dimensional worlds of information.
And the project's manifesto, it's a really powerful call to action. It's about externalizing memory, yeah, but also about treating AIs as fellow inhabitants of this space, not just tools we use. And maybe the most important point of all, keeping this new web open, accessible, and not locked down by any one single company.
So by giving information a real shape and structure, we create a common ground, a shared reality where humans and AI can explore, build, and reason together. And that just leaves us with a really fascinating question, doesn't it? Once we can truly navigate the entire universe of our collective knowledge, what new worlds are we going to discover?